Hey there, everybody. Jessica Carter here.
With Matt Carter.
And we're going to be talking about This Is Us and a theory all about Miguel. For all of you Miguel fans out there. Miguel.
Wait. We're doing a chant? Miguel. I'm late. Well, what a surprise. I always come into the chants late. But, yeah.
And so does everybody with the Miguel, meaning producers. We're going to have a talk with you in this video because where's the Miguel of it all? I know that, Miguel is not necessarily everybody, everybody's championing for him or anything like that, but he is an important part of this story, and we really haven't gotten very much of him. But before we get into that, if you do like this video, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell and give us a thumbs up and all that good stuff so that you don't miss any of our updates, because we're going to have more This Is Us coming.
And the funny thing is about Miguel?
Miguel.
Beyond the channel of Miguel, it's that, a lot of times in the first couple of seasons, I think everyone was so inclined to hate Miguel, and they were just like, Miguel, like an angry chant, but it's sort of like, they have shunned Miguel to such a degree that I think some haters may be coming around. I'm not saying everyone, but some.
I think it's just, the thing is, okay, this is really the position that This Is Us has put us all in.
Yeah.
They decided to match up Rebecca and Miguel about 10 years later after Jack's death. She decides to get a Facebook account. She puts up a picture of her first grandchild, and then Miguel chimes in as kind of like, congratulations. And they reconnect. So it is really far in the future. This isn't like, Jack died and then all of a sudden Miguel was there and he's like, hey, I'm fixing your refrigerator and now this is happening.
Fixing your refrigerator.
Yeah,
yes.
he was there after the death as a friend to help out, and then they lost touch. So this isn't like Miguel is this horrible traitor, how could you sort of situation. I mean, life happens, right?
It does happen, and I feel like a lot of the disdain for Miguel has kind of stemmed from we have been sort of put in the Pearsons' position, as in the big three, where they see Miguel as sort of this outsider who is invading their family. But, in reality, Miguel is just a person. He is flawed. He has gone through some stuff. And but we're still also left with questions because we don't know where Miguel is in the future. And we don't know if this guy's even alive.
And sort of the thing about Miguel just in general, even with the big three and everything like that, it was so many years later. I mean, they were all adults at this point. Wouldn't they want their mom to be happy, to move on? This isn't just Jack and Rebecca's love story. It is one element of this show. To me, this show is about family dynamics and all of the different family dynamics, from having your children to adopting children to being in love to losing love to death to birth, all of that. It's about the entire Pearson family. And I think it's just that the first couple seasons really focused so much on just the Jack and Rebecca love story that we ended up in this position that now that the show has expanded and is really like, hey, it's about all of us, that people are still like everybody but not Miguel.
I hope season 5 starts to sort of change this a little bit. Because if we go back a couple of seasons ago when we had the Toby episode, there was conversation then of, we're going to give you stories on Toby, Beth, and Miguel, and they're all going to get their due. Toby and Beth got full episodes. Miguel got about 10 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah, this is the thing. Going into season 5, now that the producers have decided seasons ago that they were going to match up Rebecca and Miguel and not really give us anything. All we really know is that they kind of reconnected through Facebook and now they're married. There's nothing else. I'm not saying that all of us want to sit around and watch the Miguel and Rebecca love story. I don't think anybody really wants to sit around and watch that. But if you're going to put them together, we do need to know some of this background. We need to know, even though they sort of reconnected years later, Was there guilt that they felt they had to get over? Were there real problems in the family? Were the kids being really hard on Rebecca to not be with him? Like, where is all of that dynamic? Because in the future, the more we see Miguel, the more we see how he just takes a back seat to everything. Most of the time, he's not even there. And it became really apparent this season, more than any season, when Rebecca found out about this illness. He was there very kind of briefly, and we saw him there with Randall kind of going through what's going on and learning about her diagnosis and stuff like that. And then he was just kind of not really there, kind of in the background. There's this big, push and pull between Kevin and Randall. Oh, she should go to the trial. No, she's not going to go to the trial. Where is Miguel? Miguel is her husband. And I think that, for me, the show has really dropped the ball on this Miguel relationship. I want to know now why Miguel is not stepping up, why he's not having these conversations, and if he is having these conversations, why aren't we seeing them?
My theory on all this is that in season 5, we're going to have in the present a storyline that sort of explores their dynamic. And I think with that, we're also going to kind of jump back in time a little bit to maybe where we are at this point and at the end of season 4. Like, we'll see the two of them in St. Louis where Rebecca is going through her trial, and then we'll sort of flash back to these moments in between where Rebecca makes this decision to do the trial after her conversation with Randall, and I think we'll get Miguel's reaction and thought process and everything else there. It may just ultimately not be that dramatic, separate from their own episode, where maybe he is just of the philosophy of, I will support whatever you're doing. But I think because he may not feel like he has a voice or a leg to stand on with anyone else in the Pearsons, it's hard for him to sort of jump up and chime in moments when the kids are involved, because he knows nobody's really going to listen to his feedback anyway.
Right, but why is it like that? And that's the story that I want to get, and that's the story I'm hoping to get in season 5, because if we are looking at her going into this trial, if she goes into the trial, we don't know.
Yeah.
That we need to know, or I need to know, why Miguel isn't really having too much of a say in it. Why it is that the kids are kind of running the ship here. So what I'd like to see is, if we're going to have this trial, and we're going to see Rebecca kind of going through it, and Miguel's going to be going through it, should be going through it kind of with her, like, yeah, he's not there, but he's going to be there in his mind and his heart. So this is the perfect time, This Is Us, to start giving us a little bit of the when they got together. What did that look like? How hard was that on them? Was it hard at all on them? Like, is Miguel carrying around like a serious amount of guilt that it's not just, oh, I'm with Rebecca, but this was my best friend's wife, and guilt. So whatever you want, Rebecca, I'm just going to say yes. Is this what's happened? And what kind of relationship is that? It's time to take a peek. And I think this season 5 is the right time for it.
I think absolutely. No matter how much further This Is Us goes, I think we need to understand their present before we start to see their future. But I'll throw at you here probably the darkest theory that I've sort of thought about when it comes to Rebecca and Miguel. And that is that this episode in season 5 sort of tells their story, and then at the end of this story, which is still going to be in the present while Rebecca is getting these treatments, I'm just saying hypothetically she starts these treatments, Miguel then dies in the middle of her doing this trial, and then she decides that this trial, she can't do it alone, and doing that, it kind of shows us how important Miguel really is, and that he, being a rock, is the only reason she decided to do it. And maybe that is when she stops. Ultimately, nothing ends up working, but she wants to be around her kids. and spend time with their kids. And this would explain, of course, why Miguel is not there in what we like to call the future when she is on her deathbed.
That's just the future. The future, Jack Damon.
Oh, I get the timelines mixed up.
We're going to have to call it the super future.
Okay, well, one of these days I'll get it together.
But no, I'm wondering if something like that's going to happen too, because we do see Rebecca at the, Kevin and Kate's birthday up at the cabin where she gets confused while she's out. That doesn't feel like a 9-month period has passed, because Madison is pregnant there, and 9 months, it would have been way past that at this point. She would have had those kids. So Rebecca, for whatever reason, is not in the trial at that time when they're turning 40. So did she get pulled out? Mm-hmm. Did Miguel die and then she left? Or did she never do it? These are sort of the questions that we're left with.
And I don't know exactly when we're going to get answers on all of them, but I feel like we are going to get answers on them, at least probably by the end of the season 5, because they know This Is Us is not the story of Miguel. I don't see any reason for them to really prolong things there. I think they'll give us something there, and then in season 6, we can start to maybe look at some other horizons with Rebecca as well.
I just think they decided to introduce Miguel as part of this family, and he has been a ghost in this family. And over the years, it's just kind of watching this happening and watching it throughout the timelines, that he doesn't matter. He doesn't really have a voice, not with his wife, not really with the kids, not really with anything. He just seems like he's just a ghost of himself from when we sort of first met him, and he was like best friends with Jack and everything was good and he had all this vibrancy, and now he's just kind of this shell. And I'm very curious as to why it is. Like, why does it look like this? Why is he not more vocal in his relationship? He doesn't have to be with the kids, but you guys have made him part of the family, so he's part of the family.
I really hope we get some of this. I think it's going to make the world more complete. Maybe there's friction with him and the big 3 that we haven't even seen that explains some of it a little bit further. I think we just need a better emotional understanding of where he sort of sits, why we don't see deeper relationships between the big 3 and him. It doesn't seem like there's, seething hatred or anything, but there's a little bit of a distance. And I wonder if it goes just beyond, oh, you're not Jack.
Yeah, I'm wondering, same thing. I'm wondering, is it just that first it started out as, oh, you're my dad's best friend, how dare you? There's never enough time that passes that you're ever allowed to be with our mother sort of feeling? Or did it then kind of grow into just this, I'm not going to put in an effort? Well, then Miguel's not going to put in an effort. Nobody's putting in an effort. So it just kind of falls into this, where everybody just kind of accepts that everybody's there, but no effort goes into it, so nobody built anything with him.
Let's just hope that we get to build something in season 5. But with that in mind,
Miguel.
What do you guys want to see from Miguel moving into the next season? Let us know in the comments, and if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.